Remember that astronaut food you begged your parents to buy? The one that made you feel like you were floating in space with every bite? Well, get ready to blast off down memory lane. We've got space food sticks and 9 other snacks from the 70s that'll transport you right back to your shag-carpeted living room. But here's the kicker. We're not just showing you these treats. We're tasting them in a fully decked-out 70s living room set. Wood paneling, lava lamps, and all. Will these snacks still taste as out of this world as we remember? Or have our taste buds grown up too much? Picture this. It's 1969, and you're glued to your TV, watching Neil Armstrong take that historic first step on the moon. As the astronauts bounce around in low gravity, you can't help but wonder, what does space food taste like? Well, thanks to space food sticks, you didn't have to wait long to find out. These futuristic snacks hit grocery store shelves right as America's space obsession was reaching fever pitch. Wrapped in sleek foil packaging, they promised to give kids, and let's face it, plenty of adults too, a taste of the astronaut life. But here's the thing. Real astronaut food was nowhere near as exciting as we imagined. Those poor guys were stuck with freeze-dried ice cream that tasted more like chalk than dessert. Space food sticks, on the other hand, they were a whole different story. These chewy, rod-shaped treats came in flavors like chocolate, peanut butter, and caramel. Biting into one was like taking a trip to a parallel universe where protein bars met candy. The texture was unique. Not quite a chocolate bar, not quite a granola bar, but somewhere in between. It was soft enough to eat easily, but firm enough to feel substantial. And the taste? Well, it wasn't exactly out of this world, but it was pretty darn good for something that was supposed to be nutritious. Now, you might be wondering how these snacks went from NASA labs to your local supermarket. It all started with Pillsbury, the company behind those giggly doughboys and flaky croissants. They teamed up with NASA to develop food that could withstand the rigors of space travel. The result was a high-energy, nutrient-dense food that could fuel astronauts on long missions. But Pillsbury wasn't about to let all that research go to waste on just a handful of space explorers. They saw a golden opportunity to cash in on America's space craze. With a few tweaks to make them more palatable for Earthbound taste buds, space food sticks were born. The marketing for these snacks was nothing short of genius. TV commercials showed kids transforming into mini astronauts with every bite. The packaging screamed, "The energy snack used by astronauts," in bold letters. It didn't matter that real astronauts probably weren't munching on these during spacewalks. Kids were sold on the idea that they were eating genuine space food. And boy, did that marketing work. Space food sticks became the must-have item in every kid's lunchbox. Trading them at the cafeteria table was like dealing in interplanetary currency. If you had a space food stick, you were suddenly the coolest kid in school. At least until recess. But the popularity of space food sticks wasn't just about clever marketing. They actually tasted good, and parents appreciated that they were more nutritious than candy bars. Plus, they were portable and didn't melt, making them perfect for road trips, camping adventures, or those long afternoons playing kickball in the neighborhood. As space food sticks fueled backyard adventures, another snack was making waves. Or should we say, bubbles. Picture dropping a small tablet into a glass of water and watching it erupt into a colorful, effervescent spectacle. What was this mysterious concoction, and why did it capture the imagination of an entire generation? Enter Fizzies, the magical tablets that turned ordinary tap water into a fun, fizzy drink right before your eyes. These effervescent wonders hit the market in the 1950s but really took off in the groovy 70s. Imagine being a kid and feeling like a soda shop wizard, creating your own carbonated concoctions with just a glass of water and a little disc of flavor-packed excitement. Fizzies came in all sorts of tasty flavors: cherry, grape, orange, and root beer, to name a few. Each tablet was like a tiny flavor bomb, just waiting to explode in your glass. Drop one in, and suddenly you're treated to a show of bubbles and color as your drink comes to life. It was like having your own personal chemistry set, but way more delicious. Now, as cool as Fizzies were, they didn't come without a bit of controversy. Some parents raised eyebrows at the artificial ingredients and questioned whether these fizzy treats were really a healthy alternative to regular soda. But for many families, Fizzies offered a fun compromise. They were more affordable than buying cans of soda, and kids could easily make their own drinks without needing to open the fridge or use a bottle opener. The experience of making a fizzy drink was half the fun. You'd fill a glass with water, drop in the tablet, and watch in awe as it dissolved, creating a mini tornado of bubbles and color. The anticipation built as you waited for the fizzing to subside, wondering if this batch would taste even better than the last. And let's be honest, sometimes you'd sneak a little sip while it was still bubbling, just for that extra zingy sensation on your tongue. Fizzies became a staple at birthday parties, sleepovers, and after-school hangouts. Trading flavors with friends was all part of the experience. Maybe you'd mix cherry and grape for a funky fruit punch, or brave the unknown by combining root beer and orange. The possibilities seemed endless, limited only by your imagination and how many tablets you had left in the box. But as the 70s rolled on, Fizzies faced some tough competition. Canned sodas were becoming more widely available and affordable. Plus, they had the advantage of being pre-mixed and ready to drink. No waiting for bubbles to settle. The convenience factor started to outweigh the novelty of DIY carbonation for many families. While Fizzies fizzled out, another controversial treat was lighting up the candy aisle. Ever wonder why a chocolate snack could spark a national debate? The answer lies in a candy that blurred the lines between playful treats and adult vices, leaving parents fuming and kids clamoring for more. Enter chocolate cigarettes, a confectionery creation that took the 1970s by storm. These sweet sticks were more than just candy. They were a cultural phenomenon that reflected the complex attitudes of the era. Packaged in boxes that looked eerily similar to real cigarette packs, these chocolate treats gave kids a taste of grown-up sophistication, or so they thought. The appeal of chocolate cigarettes was undeniable. Kids loved the thrill of pretending to smoke, puffing on the chocolate sticks and watching as their breath created a cloud in the cold air. It was like playing dress-up but with a sugary twist. And let's be honest, what kid didn't want to feel a little more grown up? But as the 70s progressed, so did our understanding of smoking's dangers. Suddenly, these innocent treats didn't seem so harmless anymore. Parents started to worry. Could pretend smoking lead to the real thing? Health experts chimed in, arguing that chocolate cigarettes normalized smoking for impressionable young minds. The packaging of these treats was a big part of the problem. Wrapped in paper and nestled in flip-top boxes, they were nearly indistinguishable from the real deal. Some even came with collectible cards, mirroring the trading cards found in actual cigarette packs. It was like a crash course in smoking culture, served up with a side of cocoa. As public health campaigns gained momentum, chocolate cigarettes found themselves in the crosshairs. Schools banned them, stores pulled them from shelves, and concerned citizens wrote strongly worded letters to candy companies. The once popular treat was quickly becoming a poster child for irresponsible marketing. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the growing backlash, chocolate cigarettes didn't disappear overnight. They had a loyal following, and plenty of kids and adults argued that they were just harmless fun. After all, nobody was getting lung cancer from eating chocolate, right? The debate raged on, with chocolate cigarettes caught in the middle of a larger conversation about children's health and the responsibilities of food manufacturers. It wasn't just about candy anymore. It was about the messages we send to kids and the line between playful imitation and dangerous influence. As the 70s gave way to the 80s, chocolate cigarettes began to change. Some companies rebranded them as candy sticks, ditching the cigarette-like packaging for more neutral designs. Others phased them out entirely, replacing them with less controversial treats. The era of the chocolate cigarette was coming to an end, but its impact on snack culture and the broader conversation about marketing to children would linger for years to come. As the dust settled on the chocolate cigarette debate, snack makers were already cooking up their next big hit. What if we told you that the 1970s saw pizza flavors escape the parlor and invade the chip aisle? Buckle up, because things are about to get deliciously weird. The 1970s were a time of bold experimentation in the snack world, and nothing embodied this spirit quite like Kugel. Imagine opening your pantry to find peanut butter that tasted like chocolate, banana, or even cinnamon. That's exactly what Kugel offered, turning the humble PB&J into a flavor adventure. Kugel wasn't just another jar on the shelf. It came in bright, eye-catching containers featuring a goofy cartoon character that kids couldn't resist. And those TV commercials? They were something else. Catchy jingles and that smiling mascot made Kugel the talk of every playground. Suddenly, lunch trades got a whole lot more interesting. But Kugel wasn't the only snack pushing the boundaries of flavor. Remember pizza spins? These crunchy little bites packed all the taste of a pepperoni slice into a convenient, munchable form. Perfect for when you craved pizza but didn't want to wait for delivery. Kids loved them, and let's be honest, plenty of adults snuck a handful when no one was looking. And then there were onions. These crispy snacks took the savory goodness of fried onions and turned it into a portable treat. They were marketed as being noisier than other snacks, because apparently the 70s were all about making snack time as loud as possible. Can you imagine the crunch echoing through your wood-paneled living room? The 70s snack aisle was like a mad scientist's lab. Food companies were throwing flavors together just to see what would stick. Wacky Wafers took the idea of fruit-flavored candy and supersized it, creating giant, colorful discs that were part sweet treat, part edible frisbee. Each one was big enough to share, but let's be real. Who actually wanted to? This era of snack innovation wasn't just about wild flavors. It was about creating entirely new eating experiences. Texture became just as important as taste. Snacks weren't just food anymore. They were entertainment. Every bite was a chance to surprise your taste buds or gross out your friends. But here's the million-dollar question. Which of these far-out flavors actually stood the test of time? While Kugel and its pals might have faded into obscurity, they paved the way for the flavor mashups we see today. Think about it. Without these 70s experiments, would we have things like birthday cake-flavored protein bars or sriracha-flavored potato chips? Wow, what a wild ride through the snack aisles of the 1970s. From space-age treats to fizzy drinks and controversial candies, this decade really pushed the boundaries of what a snack could be. It wasn't just about satisfying hunger. It was about adventure, imagination, and sometimes a little rebellion. These groovy treats left a lasting mark on our snack culture. Think about all the wacky flavor combinations and nostalgic revivals we see today. They're like echoes of those bold 70s experiments. So, next time you bite into a birthday cake-flavored protein bar or sip on a craft soda, remember, you're tasting a little bit of history. Now, here's some food for thought. Which of today's snacks do you think kids will be reminiscing about in 50 years? Will they be craving avocado toast-flavored chips? Or wondering whatever happened to those fidget spinner lollipops? Only time will tell.